After trading back not once but twice in the second round of the NFL Draft, the Broncos selected UCF running back RJ Harvey. So I want to tell you everything you got to know about Harvey as a player. Then I'll give you a little bit of my thoughts and analysis after Denver's second selection in the 2025 NFL Draft. So Harvey, first and foremost, is not a big bruising back like we saw with Omarion Hampton, Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins. He's 5'8", 205 pounds. So I think this is a committee backfield pick. Right? Someone who excels in one area, doesn't stand out in every single area, but does one thing really well, and that's what Sean Payton wants to do, which shouldn't be too big of a surprise given that's how he's always operated in New Orleans and now in Denver. So he started off at Virginia. He's a bit of an older prospect. He's 24. He just turned 24 back in February. He spent 1 year at Virginia, redshirted, transfers to UCF, only gets 3 carries in a shortened pandemic season, then misses all of 2021 with an ACL injury. So he doesn't get going really until 2023. That's his first time being a full-time starter. He was great for 2 years for the Knights. First team all Big 12 this past season with 1,500 yards. So a little bit of a later bloomer. And when you see that, you start to wonder, hey, is that him being really good or is that him just picking on guys half his size? Because you know, he's 23 and he's running over 19, 20-year-olds on defense. So let me give you a little bit of the pro-con-pro here. Nice compliment sandwich for him. So Dane Brugler talks about his strengths. Patient eyes the line to settle, scan, and allow blockers to do their jobs, which is a nice breath of fresh air after what Denver's running back committee did last year. Con, he doesn't have the greatest run strength, right? He's not going to run people over. He's 5'8", 205. That's just not what you're getting out of him. Pro, very productive in his 2 seasons as a full-time starter. He was voted a team captain, described as low-key and quietly confident by NFL scouts. He can spin out of tackle attempts and maintain balance through contact. So that's kind of the, quick synopsis of what you're getting. I don't want to, I think there's a tendency when people see smaller running backs, they go, they got to be great receiving backs. He had 20 receptions last year, 267 yards. We don't really know what he has to that part of his game. That was not what UCF's offense called for. But I think we can all agree that if this was a March Madness bracket, everyone's brackets got busted here. And no one really had RJ Harvey here. So they go with Jahdae Barron, the Jim Thorpe Award winner, the Texas DB who can play inside, outside at corner, sprinkle him at safety a little bit. And then after starting at 51, let's look at the trades Denver made. Actually, we'll look at the trades and then we'll look at all their current draft picks moving forward as they traded back not once but twice until they got Harvey at 60. But first things first, I'm going to be selfish. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to reach 35,000 subscribers before the NFL Draft wraps up. We're less than 500 away, so if you haven't yet, scroll on down. Just look and see if you're subscribed. If there's no D next to it, get that D in there. That's what she said. Click the sub button and lock yourself in for the best free NFL Draft coverage. So Denver started off at 51, right? Then they trade back with the Panthers. A lot of mumbo-jumbo, but the key picture here is they move up in round 3 to 74 from 85, okay? Then they make another trade with the Detroit Lions. This was a great trade. They just go back 3 spots, and they jump from 230 to 130. They jump 100 spots for moving back just 3 spots. That's a great deal by Sean and George Paton. My working theory is Sean Payton stuck in traffic on the phone with the war room saying, trade back. We're not picking till I'm there. I like to picture it was like Ari Gold talking to Lloyd, like, F the phones, Lloyd. Unless Carmen Electric calls for an emergency, you know what, don't pick up. So now we've got Jahdae Barron, this incredible DB, versatile piece, and RJ Harvey, who joins this running back room, which is definitely going to be a committee-style backfield. Audric Estime working at the goal line going into year 2. Jaleel McLaughlin probably working on 3rd downs. Harvey working on 1st and 2nd downs. Very reminiscent to what he had in New Orleans with Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Reggie Bush, a little bit Pierre Thomas. Like, just never really had a true bell cow back. And if you remember back in January, he talked about we're not going to have a bell cow back. We're going to do more of a committee backfield. Yeah, it just became a committee backfield for sure in my eyes. All right, before we move on to the rest of this pick and my kind of overall thoughts on it and what's next for Denver as well, quick shout out to our friends over at Game Time. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier, even for hard-to-get playoff seats. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch or tip-off. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. So you want to go see the Nuggets, you want to go see the Avs, maybe the Rockies? Check out Game Time. Last-minute deals, save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So just to kind of wrap up a little bit on who RJ Harvey is as a back. He was a 3-star recruit coming out if you really want to go back in time. But just the overall strengths is he's got good fundamentals to become a better pass catcher. It's just not something we've seen so far during his collegiate career. He's quicker rather than fast. I don't think he's got this home run speed in him necessarily, but I don't want to say he's slow. So don't make too big of a conclusion off that. Here's what Dane Brugler said. Harvey needs to develop better consistency on passing downs, but he is skilled at patiently settling his feet and changing lanes with his instinctive field vision and lateral quickness. Similar in ways to Tyjae Spears, he projects best in a timeshare role in the NFL. I think that this draft is going to be looked back at as, so Denver passed on Omarion Hampton in round 1, passed on Caleb Johnson in round 2. Is that something they're going to live to regret if those two running backs end up having solid, long careers with their teams? There's something to the scheme, to the fit, and what Sean Payton's offense looks like and who fits best in it. And Hampton and Johnson are bell cow workhorse backs. So that may not be what they're looking for in a running back. But if you're curious what my 2 cents on it are, it's what I'm looking for in a running back. Because Denver hasn't had really much success from the running back position in a long... I think you got to go... Like, if you can count Melvin Gordon for 1 season or 2, but like C.J. Anderson, like it's been a while. So RJ Harvey... I'm not going to try and say this is my favorite pick ever, but no one likes an asshole or a Debbie Downer on draft day. So let's be optimistic. Let's look forward to what he can bring to the table here in this committee-style backfield. And the Broncos add a running back, which we knew they would do. It was just becoming a question of who, and they had a boatload of draft picks as well. So RJ Harvey, welcome to the Mile High City. Excited to see you hopefully become the first Broncos running back to get 100 yards in a game since Latavius Murray at the end of the 2022 NFL season with Jerry Rosenberg as this team's interim head coach. So how would you grade the pick? A, B, C, D, or F? I'm going to give it a B-. Draft grades are silly. They haven't played a snap yet. Yeah, I'm supposed to know how good they're going to be, but that's my gut reaction. B-. Thank you all for tuning in. We're live on the channel, so come back here for more Day 2 coverage.